Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introducing my name, Zahra Aisyah Febula. On this occasion, I will present my final internship report with the title Fieldwork Practice Report at Kementerian Komunikasi and Digital Human Research and Organization Bureau with the supervisor Adnan Kasofi, SVD MBA. And this report was made by Ms. Zahra Aisyah Febula with the name 171442-2071 for study program Digital Office Administration. Okay, next, in this slide, introduction background. In a modern administrative system, bureaucracy plays an important role in supporting the tasks of state institutions. One of its strategic units is the Bureau of Human Research and Organization, which manage human research and organize the organization efficiently and adaptively in line with Jenizin's 2022 view that HR management is very important for organizational efficiency and effectiveness. Internship aims to integrate theory with real work practice and on technical and soft skills. Through placement in this bureau, one can understand modern administrative process, personal policies, and the dynamic of government organization. The rapid development of information and communication technology requires government bureaus, including the Human Research and Organization Bureau, to immediately adapt to the digital administration system. This provides a great opportunity for digital office administration study program students to play an active and relevant role in supporting the implementation of digitized administrative tasks. Because the existence of this bureau is not only as a backbone in the management of the state civil apparatus, but also as a driver of organizational transformation to remain relevant in the midst of increasingly complex demands for public service. Next, company profile. Kementerian Komunikasi and Digital is a government agency that has an important role in managing the communication and information sector in Indonesia. Located at Jalan Medan Merdeka Barat, number 9, Central Jakarta, with zip code 10110. Kementerian Komunikasi and Digital is led by the Minister of Communications and Digital, who is directly responsible to the President. Next, history of the institution. Kementerian Komunikasi and Digital began with the establishment of the Departemen Penerangan in 1946, which was tasked with managing post-independent public communications. Along with technological developments, in 1999, the ministry was transformed into the Departemen Komunikasi and Informatika, and then into the Kementerian Komunikasi and Informatika in the early 2000s, with a focus on telecommunications, infrastructure, and digital literacy. In 2021, the ministry was officially renamed the Kementerian Komunikasi and Digital, reflecting a commitment to addressing the challenge of the digital age such as cybersecurity, data protection, and the digital economy. ComDigi now plays an important role in driving national digital transformation and expanding access to information technology for the whole society. Throughout its history, Kementerian Komunikasi and Digital has played an important role in building a strong communication infrastructure, establishing regulations that support technological development, and improving people's digital literacy. With a clear vision and mission, the ministry continues to strive to become an institution that excels in communication and information management and supports national development for the welfare of the Indonesian people. Below is the ComTigi logo before and after the update. In this section, practitioners carry out internship work on Kementerian Komunikasi and Digital, Bureau of Human Research and Organization Subdivision of Personnel Administration, and activities for 6 months starting from February 3rd, 2025 until July 3rd, 2025. Next slide, vision and mission. Kementerian Komunikasi and Digital has a vision and mission that is carried out, namely vision to gather Indonesia forward towards Golden Indonesia 2045. And in line with its mission, namely, first, strengthening the ideology of Pancasila, democracy, and human rights. Second, strengthening the national security defense system and encouraging national independence through food, energy, water, creative economy, green economy, and blue economy. Three, increase quality employment, encourage entrepreneurship, develop creative industries, and continue infrastructure development. And the last, strengthening the development of human research HR, science, technology, education, health, sport achievement, gender equality, and strengthening the role of women, youth, and people with disabilities. Next slide, Human Research and Organization Division. The Bureau of Human Research and Organization has the task of carrying out human resource management and institutional arrangements systematically, efficiently, and adaptively to the dynamic of change. The main tasks of the Bureau of Human Research and Organization include the preparation of technical policies in the field of staffing and organization, implementation of personnel administration, competency development, state civil apparatus, as well as evaluation and structuring of organizational structure to suit public service needs. When viewed from the flowchart on the side, the practitioner's position is in the staffing administration internship subsection. Through this division, practitioners can observe, follow, and analyze various administrative activities carried out by the Human Research and Organization Bureau, not only learning to manage documents and information systems, practitioners also gain a strategic understanding of how personnel policies are formulated and how organizational structures are adjusted to internal and external dynamics. It's an important added value in preparing academic reports and in preparing administrative reports as a profession to face the challenge of the real world of work. In this section, practitioners carry out internship work on Kementerian Komunikasi and Digital, Bureau of Human Research, and Organization Subdivision of Personnel Administration, and activities for 6 months starting from February 3rd, 2025 until July 3rd, 2025. Then in the main work process works on first create activities or even in the activity administration in the digital application with steps. First, before entering the digital application, documents related to the activities to be recorded are prepared. This preparation is important so that filling in data in the system can be done smoothly and without errors. The information needed is type of activity, the date and time of implementation, place of implementation, budget, account code, and responsible unit. Two after the document are ready, login using the account that is already available. 3. After entering the Digika main dashboard, the practitioner select the activity administration menu. This menu is the main feature is managing activities and is used by work units to record all activities that are formal in nature and require administrative and budgetary support. In this menu, practitioners can see a list of activities that have been including their status waiting for validation or complete. 4. Then practitioners click the Add Activity button, which will be direct to the electronic activity form. The content of the form consists of activity name, type activity, start and finish date, place of implementation, budget account code, and responsible unit. And the last, after everything is filled in, the practitioner will check whether the data filled in is in accordance with the bill given. After all columns and documents are filled in, click the Save button. And main working process 2 is inputting pay order submission that have complete data and recap them in the official travel register. With steps, first practitioner open and log into the Digico application, then log in with the username and password provided. 2. After successfully logging in, the practitioner will search for the accountability menu, then click expenditure accountability, then click submission of payment order. 3. After that, the practitioner will check whether there is an update to the pay order. This stage, if there is a complete update, it will be green, and if not, it will be white. 4. Then the practitioner will input the Regis Dinas Travel Letter by selecting the Monitoring and Evaluation of Payment Request Letter 2025 menu for the lead number. And last, if on the payment request letter submission menu the payment request letter number is incomplete, then fill in first for several fields that are already available. And main working process number 3, uploading official travel letters on the Digico application with steps. First, practitioners scan official travel letters with a scanner, then save them in PDF form. Before scanning, the practitioners ensures that the official travel letter has been signed by the official concerned. 2. After the document is scanned, practitioners open the Digico application to log into the Digico application. Use the username and password provided by the provider. 3. After successfully logging in, the practitioner select the Service Travel Administration menu and click the Service Travel Letter section. And the last, then after clicking the Service Travel Letter section, the practitioner looks for a document with a letter number according to what the practitioner has scanned, then click Upload Arrival Sign. On the next slide are the exciting constraints and solutions. For constraints, first, application server experiencing technical issues. 2. Internet connecting suddenly disconnect. 3. Digital application access as BDOM. Alternately, because the system does not support simultaneous login. And 4. Dependence of certain parties for data validation. For solution, compile all report content for data entry in advanced offline using applications such as Microsoft Word and File Explorer. 2. Copying content into a backup document in Microsoft Word as a backup and using a hotspot from a personal device, cell phone, to connect a temporary laptop. Third, practitioners together with other interns and mentors arrange their turn to use the Digica account. And the last 4, completing the document well before the deadline, then immediately submitting a signature request after the document is complete. Next slide, the gap between theory and practice during the internship is system gaps and application tools. In theory, according to Chantika Harris Maya Putri 2024, e-office is an information technology-based system used to replace manual work process in office with digitization and administration. In practice, its use in Kementerian Komunikasi and Digital is still limited and relies more on specialist applications such as Digica, Sympatic, CSM, and LBSE, which have not been taught practically in lecturers. And the last high regulation. According to Nahuai 2024, the era of digitalization has brought significant change in office management. Administrative processes that were previously manual are no more efficient through the use of digital technology. However, in practice, every administrative activity in the bureaucracy must go through a number of stages of validation, authorization, and signing by structural officials. Then during the internship, the contribution of the practitioners is first, digital administration management. Practitioners have input activity, procurement, and SPM data into the digital application, as well as archiving documents via Google Drive and CSN. Accuracy in this task speeds up the administration process and lightens the burden on employees. And second, accelerating LPSA data input and integration. In LPSA data management, practitioners record procurement values and verify the conformity of budget codes and other administrative data in order to maintain accountability for the procurement process. Next is the conclusion of the internship report. The internship program will be held from February to July 2025 at Kementerian Komunikasi and Digital Affairs, specifically in the Administration Division of the Human Research and Organization Bureau. Activities include data entry into the Digica, Sympatic, and CSN systems, submitting SPM requests, uploading SPD documents, and filling out LPSA work forms. During the internship, participants will develop administrative skills, master, master digital applications, and learn to overcome technical challenge. This experience will strengthen their understanding of bureaucratic process and enhance their red lines for the professional world. And for recommendation, for students are expected to be more proactive, understand work process, and be disciplined and responsible in completing tasks. For faculties, need to provide clear internship guidelines and strengthen cooperation with government agency to expand internship opportunities. And for institutions, it is recommended to provide task guidelines so that interns can more easily understand their work, as well as increase Gmail capacity for smooth documents uploads. Then on the last slide is my documentation during the internship. Okay, that's all from me. More or less apologize. Thank you.